hard part about breaking through tourism, period, is, a lot of times people are marketing the same thing. You're wondering, am I going to be able to break through the clutter? Everybody talks about their unique architecture or their unique food scene or their unique beer scene, but to be honest, you can pretty much get those kinds of things anywhere else in the world. What you can't do is you can't find distilleries everywhere in the world, and you can't find horse farms everywhere in the world.
We chose Chicago specifically for this campaign because it's a great market for Lexington. In a lot of our research, we found that people like to travel south typically. There's a direct flight from Chicago, and it's also within a 6 hours drive. So Chicago is a top 5 bourbon city, and therefore we know that the people in Chicago are already really, really interested in bourbon.
When I go into a distillery, everybody seems to me like they've got their hands in it. And whether you're the CEO of the company or the person rolling the barrels, everybody's all in. And it's a very blue-collar family enterprise. And I think that works for Chicago.
Our best-selling cocktail by far is our Old Fashioned. It outsells even our second best-selling cocktail, which is our Manhattan, 2-to-1.
A lot of times when people are at these bourbon bars, they're getting some really great cocktails from really good mixologists. But the idea is like, well, you've got a good drink there, but we want you to come to Lexington, come to Kentucky, see how it's actually made and understand why your bourbon tastes the way it is. What's the story behind that Buffalo Trace bourbon you're drinking? What's the story behind the Woodford Reserve that you're drinking?
I think when we went up to Chicago for the first time, it was eye-opening because we were able to see, what these day-to-day commuters were actually seeing. What if we intercept people to inspire them to come to Lexington in their day-to-day commute?
One of the coolest aspects of the project is just from the initial sketch that Dave drew out. So seeing him draw that initial sketch on pencil and paper.
We approach the pieces as art installations to really break through that cluttered Chicago market. To bring some sense of the horse capital of the world to this space. Our rolling hills, white fences, bourbon country, and of course our iconic blue horse.
The Jackson beer barn is not only used for commuters, but it's also a way to get to the airport. So we're hitting those travelers while they're in that traveling mindset. Station domination is where you take over all the posters in the station. And the Jackson station allowed us that opportunity.
Having an agency that was able to take an idea and then expand it out and find the right partners to bring into play, find the right publications to partner with, and to find the right media partnerships was very beneficial to us as a whole in this whole project.
So we can tell you to come to Lexington, but it's a lot more compelling when you hear it from Condé Nast Traveler, or Travel and Leisure, or USA Today, and they're saying Lexington is the bourbon destination you need to know about. So we really relied on some of our amazing and fantastic press quotes that we've gotten recently to help communicate and tell that story. But we partnered with Garden & Gun on a bourbon tasting dinner in Chicago, and it was made up of people that were Garden & Gun readers and subscribers, but also big media influencers in Chicago.
During the same week while we're up there is considered Whiskey Week in Chicago, culminating in an event called Whiskey Fest. And it just brought a big smile to my face because, honestly, what we really want to do is really just to make a really good initial impression on people. And we know this is not the last time we're going to do something in Chicago, but for a first step, it's a great initial introduction to what Lexington has to offer.
This campaign is more than advertising. It's experiential tourism. We really just wanted to take this as an opportunity to slow people down and get them daydreaming about what a trip to Lexington would really feel like.